Hello everyone, myself Rahul Kumar, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Suresh Gyan University, Jaipur. This is the series of Hydraulic Mechanics lecture number 2. The code of this subject is ME317 and for the today topic this is the introduction of hydraulic mechanics and the some basic fluid properties. Today I will cover these some topics. This is called Introduction to Fluid Mechanics, application of fluid mechanics, units and dimensions, definitions, and some problem, numerical problem related to this topic. These are the objectives of the fluid properties. Define the nature of a fluid. And second is, so where fluid mechanics concepts are common with those of the solid mechanics and indicate some fundamental areas of difference. And for the objectives of viscosity concern, it introduced viscosity and so what are Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluids and what is its nature, behavior of the fluid and define the appropriate physical properties and so how these allow differentiation between solids and fluids as well as between liquids and gases also. It also describes the temperature variation with liquids and gas in the case of viscosity and all other things, right? For the introduction of some fluid mechanics is basically a study of fluid mechanics is basically a study of physical behavior of physical behavior of fluids and fluid systems and laws governing their behavior. In the fluid mechanics, we have studied about the governing equations, just like as a Bernoulli's equation, momentum equation, Reynolds transport theorem, all other things, and some action of forces, just like as a pressure force and viscous force or surface tension force, different types of forces acting on the body or object, and these action of forces on fluids and the resulting flow pattern, and these are called different types of forces. And fluid is further subdivided into liquid and gas also. The fluid is further subdivided into two groups. These are liquid and gas. The liquid and gases exhibit different characteristics on account of their different molecular structures. On account of their different molecular structures, right? For the different molecular structures, if the study belongs to the static kinematics and dynamics aspects of the fluid. This is the study of fluid at rest is called the fluid statics. But the fluid study in motion where pressure force are not considered, where the pressure force are not considered, it is called fluid kinematics. And if the pressure forces are also considered for the fluid in motion, that branch of science is called fluid dynamics. That branch of science is called the fluid dynamics, right? And the hydraulic machines comes under the fluid mechanics, also, right? So first you understand about the fluid mechanics, then I will start the hydraulic mechanics or machines, right? And this is the fluid mechanics cover many areas like design of wide range of hydraulic structure, design of the wide range of hydraulic structure like dams, canals, weirs, etc. And the machinery lies like pumps, turbine, and other things, right? And weirs and notches both are studied in this area, and the design of complex network of pumping and pipelines for the transporting liquids, flow of water through pipes, and its distribution to service lines, and its distributions to service lines, and fluid control devices, both pneumatic and hydraulic also. Fluid control devices, both pneumatic and hydraulic also, and design and analysis of gas turbines and rocket engines and aircraft. Fluid mechanics is very important for the aerodynamics application, right? And the power generation from hydraulic, steam, and gas turbine. This is a steam and gas turbine. And method and devices for measurement of pressure and velocity of a fluid in motion. These some areas we discuss the fluid laws, units and dimension. In the fluid mechanics or in hydraulic machines, different types of units are used here. But some fundamental units which gives the some dimensions of the body. And a dimension is a name which describes the measurable characteristics of an object such as mass, length, and temperature, etc. A unit is accepted standard for measuring the dimensions. The dimensions used are expressed in four fundamental dimensions. These namely are: first is mass, length, time, and temperature. First is mass, length, time, and temperature. Mass is denoted by a capital letter M, and length is denoted by a capital letter L. Time is denoted by a capital letter T, and temperature is denoted by a small t letter. And the unit of mass is kg, length unit is small m, and the time unit is second. But in the case of temperature, it can be written as degree Celsius or Kelvin, right? These are the some fundamental dimensions used in hydraulic machines, right? And units and dimensions. These are the some units quantity, which are some units. Suppose in the case of density, this is the mass per unit volume. This is the mass per unit volume. Its unit is kg per meter cube. Its unit is kg per meter cube. And the force unit is Newton. The unit of force expressed in terms of mass and acceleration according to Newton's second law of motion. What the Newton's second law? F equal to ma, mass into the product of mass into acceleration. And the Newton is that force which when applied to a mass of 1 kg gives an acceleration 1 meter per second square. This is the F equal to mass into acceleration equal to kg into mass into second square, right? And the Pascal. Pascal is a unit of pressure. Pascal is a unit of pressure, and a Pascal is the pressure produced by a force of Newton uniformly applied over an area of 1 meter square. And pressure equal to force per unit area equal to Newton per meter square equal to Pascal or PA, right? It is represented by a PA letter. And next unit is joule. A joule is the work done when the point of application of force of 1 Newton is displaced work equal to force per unit. It is given by Newton per meter or capital letter G or joule. It can be written as joule also. And next is watt. A watt represents a work equivalent of a joule done per second. And last unit is here, fundamental unit is here, power. Work done per unit time. Power is the work done per unit time. This is equal to joule per second or equal to watt or watt here, right? So these are the some main fundamental units used in hydraulic machines. And then comes to the definitions. Definitions. First is here density. Density or mass density. These are the basic fluid properties. We can say that the mass density also, right? Mass density. The density of a mass or mass density of a fluid is defined as the ratio of the mass. Is defined as the ratio of a mass of the fluid to its volume. Thus, the mass per unit volume of the fluid is called. Thus, the mass per unit volume of the fluid is called density. Density, and mathematically, mass density is written as this is equal to mass of fluid divided by volume of fluid. It is denoted by a Greek symbol rho, and the value of water density is 1000 kg per meter cube. 1000 kg per meter cube, or in the gram per centimeter, 1 gram per centimeter cube is here. 1 gram per centimeter cube is here, right? And second fluid property is specific weight or specific density. Specific weight or specific density is here. It is the ratio between the weight. It is ratio between the weight of the fluid to its volume. The weight per unit volume of the fluid is called weight density, and it is denoted by capital letter W. And W is equal to the weight of the fluid divided by volume of fluid. Weight of the fluid divided by volume of fluid. This is equal to mass of the fluid into acceleration due to the gravity. Acceleration due to the gravity divided by the volume of fluid also. This is equal to mass of fluid into G divided by volume of the fluid. Fluid is here, and the mass of the fluid and volume of the fluid, it is the ratio. It is denoted by rho. This is the density of the fluid also. This is equal to rho into G, right? So specific weight is the product of density into the gravitational acceleration. Gravitational acceleration. And its unit Newton per meter cube. This is a SI unit. Newton per meter cube. This is a SI units, right? And come to the next heading or next fluid properties. This is the specific volume. This is the specific volume. It is defined as the volume of the fluid occupied by a unit mass. Unit mass or volume per unit mass of a fluid is called specific volume. But I am again repeating this definition. It is defined as the volume of fluid occupied by a unit mass or volume per unit mass of fluid is called specific volume, and specific volume equal to volume of the fluid divided by the mass of the fluid. This is equal to 1 divided by mass of the fluid and the volume of the fluid. And this quantity, mass of the fluid and volume of the fluid, given by a rho. This is a equal to 1 by rho. So in other form, we can say that this is the reciprocal of density, or specific volume inversely proportional to the density also. Thus, the specific volume is the reciprocal of mass density. It is expressed in meter cube per kg and is commonly applied to gases, right? Means this specific value is commonly applied to the gases also. And next is specific gravity. For the definition of the specific gravity, it is defined as the ratio of weight density of a liquid to the weight density of a standard fluid. It is defined as the ratio of a weight density of a liquid to the weight density of a standard liquid. For liquid, the standard fluid taken is water, and for the gases, the standard liquid taken is air. The specific gravity is also called the relative density. In other words, it is called the relative density. This is a dimension less quantity. It is a dimension less quantity and denoted by a capital letter S. If in the case of liquid, S suffix liquids, and in the case of gases, it can be written as S suffix gases, right? And the for the formula, S for liquids equal to weight density of a liquid divided by weight density of water. Weight density of liquid divided by the weight density of water, and the S for gases, weight density of gas divided by weight density of air. Here is weight density of gas divided by weight density of air also, right? And then move to the next slide. These are the some numerical problems related to the previous fluid properties. First problem is calculate the density, specific weight, and the weight of 1 liter petrol of a specific gravity of 0.7. For the solution, first you collect the data from the given question. Volume V equal to 1 liter equal to 1 into 1000 centimeter cube equal to 1000 divided by 10 to the power 6 meter cube equal to 0.001 meter cube. This is the specific gravity. S equal to 0.7. Then the first we will find the density. How to find the density? Rho equal to S into 1000. This is equal to 0.7 into 1000 equal to 700 kg per meter cube. This is the density of this fluid. And for the specific weight, we can use this formula. Small w equal to rho into g. This is density is value is here 700, and this is the gravitational constant. This is value is 9.81, right? This is for this case multiplied both on two, it gives the value of 6867 Newton per meter cube. For the weight W, then the already we know the specific weight of this liquid, right? This is the W. Then the weight equal to the weight, specific weight equal to the weight by volume. So specific weight is 6867. Then the weight of this liquid is here. W equal to 6867. 0.001 equal to 6.867 newtons. These are the answers related to question, right? and then move to the next topic, viscosity. Here is the next topic is viscosity. These are also a fluid, fluid property, viscosity, surface tension, and capillarity. Surface tension is divided into three things. One is one liquid droplet on a hollow bubble and on liquid jet, or the capillary rise or capillary fall also, right? Next is viscosity. Viscosity is generally defined as this is the property of a fluid which offers resistance to the movement of one layer of the fluid over another adjacent layer of the fluid. Means this is a property of the fluid which offers the resistance between two layers of the fluid. Suppose this is the two layers of the fluid. If these two layers are moving over another, then it creates some resistance between them. It creates resistance between them. This property is called viscosity. When two layers of a fluid at a distance dy apart, when two layers of a fluid at a distance dy apart move one over the other at different velocities. Say u. The lower layer velocity is small u and the upper layer velocity is here u plus du. The upper layer velocity is here u plus du. The viscosity together with relative velocities causes a shear stress acting between the fluid layers. So tau is the shear stress which acts between the two layers of the fluid, and this is the gradient. Well, this is called the velocity gradient. This velocity gradient gives the ratio of du by dy. Du by dy comes from this u plus du minus u, and only del u is remaining, and here dy. This is the different distance between two layers. This is the distance between two layers. So in the case, viscosity case, the top layer causes a shear stress on the adjacent lower layer. The top layer causes a shear stress on the adjacent lower layer, while the lower layer causes okay, sorry for disturbance. And the top layer causes a shear stress on the adjacent lower layer, while the lower layer causes a shear stress on the adjacent top layer. Means both two layers. Suppose this is the lower layer and this is the upper layer. So both two layers are interconnected with each other by a friction force. By a friction force, and this shear stress is proportional to the rate of change of velocity. This shear stress is proportional to the rate of change of velocity with respect to y. It is denoted by a symbol tau. This is a Greek letter tau, and tau is directly proportional to du by dy. And if I am replacing a new letter mu by the proportionality constant, then tau equal to mu du by dy. Then tau equal to mu du by dy here, where mu is the proportionality constant and is shown as the coefficient of dynamic viscosity, or only called viscosity of the fluid. And this du by dy represent this shear stress, shear strain or rate of shear deformation, or we can say that velocity gradient, right? And from the above equation, we have mu equal to tau divided by du by dy. Thus, viscosity is also defined as the shear stress required producing unit rate of shear strength. Thus, the viscosity is also defined as the shear stress required producing unit rate of shear strength, shear strain also, right? So, this is some points about the viscosity. Then move to the next slide, kinematic viscosity. And one thing is remaining here. This is the units of the viscosity. The units of the viscosity is generally represented by the Newton per meter square or Pascal second. This is the SI unit is Newton second per meter square or Pascal second. And one more unit is twice, right? Twice is here. And one twice is equal to 1 by 10 Newton second per meter square. One twice is equal to 1 by 10 Newton second per meter square, right? And then comes to the kinematic viscosity. It is defined as the ratio for the kinematic viscosity. It is defined as the ratio between dynamic viscosity and density of fluid. Dynamic viscosity and density of fluid. It is denoted by a symbol nu. This is a nu symbol, or it is a ratio of viscosity divided by density, right? So nu equal to mu by rho, and the unit of this dynamic viscosity is dynes per centimeter square, or we can say that the unit of kinematic viscosity is meter square per second. Thus, 1 stroke equal to centimeter square per second equal to 1 by 100 square meter square per second, or equal to 10 to the power minus 4 meter square per second, right? So, this is the kinematic viscosity unit. And then the Newton's law of viscosity. Newton's law of viscosity gives a one relation between the shear stress, viscosity, and velocity gradient. In between the velocity gradient, right? It states that shear stress on a fluid element layer is directly proportional to the rate of shear strain. It states that the shear stress tau on a fluid element layer is directly proportional to the rate of shear strain. The constant of proportionality is called the coefficient of viscosity. The constant of proportionality is called the coefficient of viscosity, and it is expressed as tau equal to mu du by dy. Fluids which obey above relation, means those fluids which obey the above relation are known as the Newtonian fluid, and fluids which do not obey, and some fluids which do not obey the above relation is called non-Newtonian fluid. Is called the non-Newtonian fluid, right? So this is the main difference between Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluid. Here some objective portion arises. Which fluid obey the Newton's law of viscosity? This is called Newtonian fluid, exotropic fluid, or non-Newtonian fluid. Different types of fluid is given here. So the correct answer is here Newtonian fluid, right? Then this is the topic of types of fluid also. Here this types of for the concern about type of fluid, we can draw a one graph. in between y and x axis. In the x axis, I am taking velocity gradient. This is the du by dv in second inverse, and this is the shear stress tau Newton per meter square. The fluid may be classified into the following five types. One is ideal fluid, real fluid, Newtonian fluid, non-Newtonian fluid, and ideal plastic fluid also. Non-Newtonian fluid and ideal plastic fluid. Sorry. These are different types of fluid. First one is ideal fluid. A fluid which is compressible and is having no viscosity. It is called ideal fluid. It is only an imaginary fluid, as all fluids have some viscosities. Means this type of fluid, this is uh, very hard to find in the nature, because because all the fluid has some viscosities here. Yeah. Some fluid follow the Newton's law of viscosity. These are called Newton's law. This is given by a straight line, and then the dilatant fluid is here, non-Newtonian fluid is here, and real plastic fluid is here. This is the ideal plastic fluid, and this is a fixed trophic fluid. For this equation, tau equal to tau plus du by dy e power x answer, right? And this is the only y line is called the elastic solid, and this is the ideal fluid. Here the viscosity is zero, but it is not possible in nature here, right? Then comes to the some MCQ problems. Here I am explaining 10 MCQ problem. First one is water flows between the two plates. Water flows between the two plates, of which the upper one is stationary and the lower one is moving with velocity v. And what will be the velocity of the fluid contact with the upper fluid? Upper fluid. What is the velocity of the upper fluid is? If what the answer for this question is here? Here is answer is 0, right? For the 0 answer, explanation of this question is here. According to no slip condition, the relative velocity between the plate and the fluid in contact with it must be 0. Thus, the velocity of the fluid in contact with the upper plate is 0. That's why with the that's why this velocity is 0 compared to the lower plate, right? And then move to the next question. This is the viscous force. The viscous force, the relative motion between the adjacent layer of a fluid in motion, which one of the following fits best in the sentence? First is opposes, never affects, facilitates, may affect under certain condition. Just you guess this answer. But the answer of this question is here A. And here is answer is D, which opposes the motion, right? And viscosity is a internal friction. Viscosity is a property of the fluid due to the internal friction. It is a property by virtue which the relative motion between two adjacent fluid layer is opposed. Relative motion between two layers will be opposed, right? So the correct answer is here opposes. For the question number 3 MCQ question, the viscosity of the fluid in motion is 1 poise. What will be its viscosity in poise when the fluid is at rest? When the fluid is at rest also. But the correct answer for this question is here. This is C. This is the correct answer, right? Because viscosity is the property of the fluid is constant for a given fluid under given condition, right? It is not vary if fluid is rest or fluid is moving, right? Because this is a constant quantity throughout the process, right? For the question number four, four. Which of the following correctly states how the viscosities of the liquid and the gases will change with temperature? Viscosity increases with increase in temperature of liquid and decreases with the increase in temperature of a gas. The B answer, uh, B option is viscosity increases with increase in temperature of a liquid and increases with the increase in temperature of a gases, and viscosity decreases with the increase in temperature of a liquid and decreases with the increase in temperature of gas. The last answer option is here. Viscosity decreases with increase in temperature of a liquid and increase with the increase in temperature of gases. What will be the right answer for this question is here? The right answer is E. E is the right answer. Which one of the following is not? Which one of the following is not unit of dynamic viscosity? Just here is four option is given here. First one is Pascal second, Newton second per meter square, Poisson and Stokes. So here is answer is D. Stokes. Stokes is a Stokes is a unit of kinematic viscosity, and all other units are in comes under the dynamic viscosity. So D is the correct answer, right? And the problem number 6. Which of the following is a unit of dynamic viscosity? But the correct answer is here B. B is the correct answer. And which of one of the following is the CGS unit of the dynamic viscosity? For the CGS unit for the dynamic viscosity is B. This is the correct answer for this question. And for question number 8, the dynamic viscosity of a fluid is 1 poise. The dynamic viscosity of a fluid is 1 poise. And what should one multiply to it to get the answer in Newton second per meter square? Multiply to it to get the answer in Newton second per meter square. A option is 0.1, B option 1, C is 10, and D is 100. D is 100. So the answer is here. Answer is here 1, right? 1 is the right answer for this question, because 1 poise equal to 1 dime second per centimeter square. Centimeter square. So 1 dime into 1 second divided by 1 centimeter square. This is equal to 10 to the power minus 5 Newton into 1 second divided by 10 to the power minus 4 meter square is equal to 0.1 Newton second meter square, right? And comes to the question number 9. This is a very simple question. Which of the following unit of kinematic viscosity? This is a very simple question. Which of the following is a unit of kinematic viscosity? So, Stoke is the unit of kinematic viscosity. All other units are wrong. And meter square equal to second. This is not any unit, right? So, Stoke. Next is next and last question for this MCQ is here. Which of the following is the dimension of kinematic viscosity? Which of the following is the dimension of the kinematic viscosity? First one is L1 T minus 2, L1 T minus 2, L2 T minus 2, and L2 T minus 2. Right? For this, correct answer is here L2 T minus 2. So these are the MCQ questions related to fluid properties, and this is your reference books. First reference book. This is a very good book for the engineering. Fluid Mechanics by K.L. Kumar. And next is Fluid Mechanics and Machine, F.M. White, John Wiley and Sons. And third book is Fluid Mechanics and Machine. This is A.K. Jain. And Fluid Mechanics, Weir, Stripper, McGraw-Hill. And the last and good book for reference is here, Fluid Mechanics with Applications. S.K. Gupta with publication. These are the reference books. In the next lecture, I will teach about the some topic related to full description about the types of fluids, surface tension, surface tension on liquids, surface tension on liquid droplet, right? Capillarity effect, expression for capillarity, rise and fall, both cases. This is the rise case and this is the fall case, right? So this is this type of topic I will cover in next class. So thank you for this class, all of you.